I'm going to show you my workflow for getting all these campaign finance records in. So, going to like a specific year of records, you've got all sorts of stuff. You've got five summaries for five different categories of people who file with the Division of Elections, how they distribute the money at the end of the campaign, any records that have been deleted throughout the course of the campaign. So that's kind of cool. They keep track of the stuff people delete. And then updated records, these are just copies of what was put into the main thing. You also have contribution records. I should probably show you here. Expenditure records right here, five of them, and then five contribution records. And the so overall, there's like 30 files in each year. I've already moved some of these out. I've moved out contributions and expenditures. So the idea is that I'm going to take a group of these things, since they're all going into the same table. If they all distribution files go into the same table, all contribution records go into the same table, and all expenditure records go in. So as you can see, I've got five for 1998, five for 2000, five for 2002, five for 2004, all the way up to 2010. I still have to upload this second DVD, but thought I'd show you this. And what I've done is I've created two bash files so that I can do things without having to do it manually. So the first one is encode all, and this takes these files came off of a Windows uh, MS SQL server, so they're all Windows Unicode or UTF-16 LE, which you can't upload directly into PHP MyAdmin or MySQL for that matter. So what this script does is, let me pull it up over here. This is Atom, by the way. This is the program I use to do all of my stuff. If we go to encode all, it takes every file that ends in .txt, so all of these, and it converts it from UTF-16LE to UTF-8, and then it changes the file name from that. Well, it doesn't change it. It creates a new file named this. So it'll end all of the encoded files in .utf8.txt. So all we have to do is I've already set the permissions for this to be executable. So we go into the shell for the server, into this directory. I should probably get in the right directory. I already did contrib, I just want to show you expend. So if we do encode all, hit enter, what it's do is think it's done, and I'll refresh this, and there you go. So what I do is I take all the original files so I don't screw them up, copy those and put those in originals for completed, just in case I lose everything. They're all in one spot. Let those copy. And then I have this second shell script that's called load file expend. And in here, it takes all files that end in .txt, so all these. It won't do the shell files. And it does a loop, and it loads each file into a table called expend2. And if you look over here, I've got contrib, contrib2, expend, expend2. Contrib is my master table, and if something goes wrong during this process, if MySQL crashes, I don't want to corrupt the master files, so I'm putting all of it in contrib2 and expend2 so that I can always rerun it. I could flush these tables and then I could rerun it if it screws up in the process. Once I have all the files loaded in there, then I'll just copy them into the master file. So that's that. It does some cool stuff. So the date format for these files is month slash day slash 4-digit year. And when you're loading these files into the table for each field, I designate which which column goes into what field. And then for the dates, and I have two dates. I have like a date filed, and I have a date modified in the record. And what I do is I assign that to a variable, so it dumps all these into a variable, and that one too. And down here, I then set it to a field after I've changed the date format to year dash month dash day. So this takes care of, I don't know, eventually hundreds of hours of work if you had to do it manually. It would have been a pain in the ass. I mean, opening it up in Excel, formatting all the dates, then, and not only that, along the way they kept getting corrupted. I don't know how. I don't know if it was Excel or if it was my CSV converter, because I was taking the tabs out and putting pipes in just to make it more clear, and I kept getting corruption errors. So anyhow, this is the load file script. So we're going to go in here, and I have a file in here called load file expend. I'll just change that. And make sure I got a good copy in here. That's saved. And if you look, there's nothing. I've got 1996 loaded in here. There's 100,000 records. In Expend 2, there's nothing. So we're going to go and run this. It might take a little while, like maybe 30 seconds. So it's going through each of these files right here, and one by one it's importing them into that table. And it looks like it's done. So if we go back into Expend 2, we have 1 million records, which is about right. If there are 100,000 per year, then there would be 1 million for 10 years. And it took care of everything from 1998 to 2010. And all I have to do now is just move these files into my master table, and I'm done. So that's it. That's my process. So I've really got it down now. All I have to do is copy whenever I get a new campaign finance disk, and I'm going to try and get updates every month. So I want to get like the entire 2018 file in the upcoming 2020 file, because they're already starting to fundraise, and it'll soon be 2022 file. And every month, go ahead and run it. Purge all of the 2018, 2020, 2022 records from the master database, import them into these secondary tables, and once it's in there, then dump it back in to the master table, so I have a perfect record of 2018, 2020, and 2022. So this is gone. So really, maintenance for this whole thing is going to take about 30 minutes a month. So that's that. All right, man. Later.